the trick to staying in charge no matter what the circumstance, right? So, we are always, so we're always like bombarded with so many external things that are going on. We have, family pressures, we have, all these external pressures. And so, the trick is, how do you stay in that one, how do you stay balanced, pretty much? Okay, so what I want to talk about is the trick to staying in charge of your life. So the trick is, how do you stay in charge of your life no matter what the circumstance? Now, it's very easy to get out of balance. It's very easy to get out of whack when people say things or situations happen that it's not in our control. So for example, it could be, say for example, at work, your co-worker might say something, or your boss might say something, and you might react. So this is getting out of balance. This is getting out of your circumstance. Whereas we have control. We have control because it comes down to your mindset. And if we talk, if you recall what I talked about yesterday, everything is to do in your mind, and it starts from your mind. It starts from, how are you seeing yourself? How are you seeing yourself? How you behave? How are you seeing yourself when you're interacting? Doesn't matter with who, but at those circumstances, when those situations happen, is to acknowledge, is to be aware, is to know, oh my God, I'm talking like this, or I'm behaving like this, right? So you learn to pick up. And that's why I want to talk about this chapter, how to stay in charge every day, all the time, so that it doesn't matter what happens, what comes your way, you will always be balanced. So in this instance, is, as I talked about, in the book, the Think and Grow Rich book, it talked about an educated mind is not necessarily a mind that's full of abundance. An educated mind, it knows how to operate and use the faculties of your mind. So the faculties of your mind, what are they? So we have the intellectual, right? We have the will, we have the imagination, right? So your intellectual, this is the higher power. This is the higher power that, God, universe has given to us. And we need to use these mental faculties that God has given to us. And the more we use some mental faculties, the more you can begin to really change your life, the more you can really change in terms of when the circumstances that are not in our power, that are not in our control, basically. Right? So if it's not in your control, why even just react to that? So rather than being reactive, be proactive. And this is how you will learn to change. This is how you will learn to really be one in what you're wanting. So I want to give you an illustration, and this will actually lead much better, because when we talk about, your intuition, and we've got your intuition, which is another faculty, and we have perception, and we have reasoning, right? Are you being reasonable? So these are your mental So these are your mental faculties that once you begin to use your mental faculties, it truly is going to make a difference. You truly will change any circumstance that is coming your way. You will truly see how you can just begin to change. So say, for example, this is your feeling, because your feelings, and this is your thoughts, and this is your actions. So anytime you have a feeling which is operated from your subconscious, okay? You got your conscious, which is your intellectual and your educated mind, and your subconscious is your feeling and emotional mind. So you've got your feeling, that's right here. You got your you've got your feeling, right? You have your feeling, and whatever you are feeling, negative or positive, this is truly going to be affected to your thoughts that you want to operate, the thoughts that you are having, to maybe the thoughts of the business that you want to start, any part, doesn't matter what you are thinking, your thoughts. So that's your highest power, your higher power, which you are operating, your intellectual, right? So this is your highest power that you have, that God, universe, creator has given to you. So if I can illustrate, so whatever thoughts that you are feeling, you are, that is inside of you. So negative or positive, the polarity, negative or positive, good or bad, then this is indirectly affected in your mind, in your thoughts. And then whatever is perceived in your thoughts, when you go out into the world and you go and you want to execute what you want, how, it doesn't really happen, because you are already in that low vibration. So if you already have started off in the low vibrations, so this comes down to, I just talked about, your circumstance, right? Your circumstance, then, where is it? Change your life and your circumstance, right? So your circumstances will be affected because you are operating on a lower vibration. And when you go and take action, you won't get those results, because you already have said, you already have, put in your mind, oh, but I cannot achieve this, or I cannot have the business, or I cannot have the money. But rather, if you changed, you flipped, and you said, I can, I will, I can have the business, I will have the money, then you are operating on a higher vibration, and you will have. And say, for example, you had your thoughts, okay? Your thoughts, and you have your feelings, and you have your actions, right? Actions, and here you have your results. So your thoughts, feelings, and actions, this is consciously now you are operating on your conscious level, and when you are operating on the conscious level, you are now desiring, you are now getting the results. And the best way, what I have found, is when you want to change your results, you want to up the frequency, you want to up the notch. And as I talked about yesterday, how low vibration to a higher vibration is you need to shift by affirming. You need to shift by affirmations. How do you affirm to yourself? And how you affirm to yourself, what you are affirming is the results you are going to get. So whether it's positive or negative, you know, the results we always want to have in life. So it's either negative or positive, but how do they affect us? And when I talked about, this is another very good one, and I'm going to give you this exercise to do. So when I talk about the will, the 7 mental faculties. So in this one, what pertains to this topic that I'm talking about, how you can change, the trick to changing your life no matter what the circumstances. The one exercise that I want to share with you is the will. And what I want to share with you, what you can do right now today, is take a candle. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to stop right there, because, you know, this exercise that I want to give to you is a very powerful exercise. And when you do it, it really is going to change the whole dynamics of how you can change yourself no matter what the circumstances you are in. So the will, meaning the willpower. Do you have the willpower to succeed? Do you have the willpower to carry on no matter what is happening in your life right now? Do you have the willpower? And so the exercise that I want to give to you is powerful. And I've done this, and I do this as well. I want you to have a candle, light a candle, stare at the candle. Very powerful. It's a willpower. It's strengthening your mind. Can you stare at the candle? If you don't want to light a candle, you can put a dot in the room somewhere and just look at that dot. That is your willpower. You are strengthening your willpower. So that's my exercise I want to give to you today. And I want to know, how did you do it? Because this truly will really affect you and really change your life. So, you know, I don't share what I just don't do. So I do, and I want to share with you so that it really, you know, no matter what circumstances you are in right now, do this. You know, willpower, one of the 7 of the mental faculties, willpower, strengthening your mind, strengthening. Can you withstand no matter what? So that's it, guys. That's I wanted to leave it from here. But you know what? I know how, you know, when I talk about every time about the mind, I know how powerful it can be. And I know if you're not used to it, it's going to take a while to digest. But I love to talk about this, because changing your mind is the most complex and powerful tool. We know that. So how you change, how we were programmed in our early life, we now in adulthood, we need to reprogram, rewire everything that we learned, that we were taught in our, you know, family, friends, external, you know, teachers. We need to now reprogram, rewire. So now, you know, it can be difficult, but it's not difficult. And you know, you have to just follow the rules, and you will change. You know, you will change how you perceive and look at things. So yeah.
Thank you for that, Alka. That was a beautiful exercise that you've provided to us and to our listeners. When you talk about willpower and you ask the listeners to put the candle, if not the candle, put some objects that they can stare at. Now, curious, is there any particular environment that they need to be quiet or noisy? And then second is, how long can they stay and stare at the dot or the candle? And would you say, you know, if you stay there for 30 minutes, then you have a strong willpower?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know what? There's what I will say. Obviously, you don't want to do this exercise where it's noisy, definitely, because then you're not gonna have that full attention. So if you are in your office, just close the door. Just close the door, have that time for yourself so you can just, light a candle. So I will say maybe max, 10, 15 minutes, just look at the candle. But so it's not the duration, so it's not the length of time, it's the quality of what the exercise that you are doing. So if you're staring at a candle, stare at the candle, but this over time, so it's repetition, and repetition over a period of time is going to help you to rewire, reprogram everything that we did back in our early years.
Now,
So,
third question I have on that, are you just staring at the candle, or are you doing some affirmation?
No, you could stare at the candle. You could, if it's a dot that you put in your wall and in your room, stare at the dot. So you want to do it for, say, like 10, 15 minutes, and then, but repeat that.
So just being quiet then.
Yeah, stay quiet. Yeah, absolutely. Stay quiet, but repeat every day. Don't just do it one time and then let 2 or 3 weeks go by, because then you are not being consistent. So the only way your willpower is strengthened is you need to do it. You need to be consistent. So that's how you're going to be reprogramming and rewiring our old paradigms. And if your paradigms are limiting beliefs, your paradigms is our old habits that we had, that we were doing in our early years. So this is what you need to do. 10, 15 minutes, that's it. But do it consistently, and do it so that you are now changing your circumstance around you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, it does.
You're welcome. So guys, we have come to the end of another amazing show. And you know what? Yeah, this truly is, the more you do it, the more you're going to see it's going to benefit you. But you've got to be consistent in doing it. Just don't do it one time and just let 2 or 3 weeks go by, because then you're not going to see changes. But to see changes, you have to repeat, you have to be consistent, especially when it comes to this kind of work that I'm sharing with you. Is got to be consistent, and consistently over a period of time is how you get the results. So my friends, hope you truly enjoyed the show. We've come to the end, but we always want to acknowledge you. We always want to, we're grateful for you to be in here, because 80% is just showing up, and we know time is more valuable than money. You could be doing anything else, but you are here to listen, learn, and grow every time. So for that, we appreciate you. And so we will see you the same time tomorrow morning. In the meantime, make the rest of the day the best of your day. Bye for now.